Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. My name is Jacob Cohen, and I'm the Vice President of Project Implementation at the Daniels Corporation. I'm joined today by our President, Mitchell Cohen, and many members of our senior management team. Before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge that Toronto is located on the traditional territory of Indigenous peoples dating back countless generations. We wish to recognize the long history of First Nations and Métis peoples in Ontario and show respect to the Mississaugas of New Credit. The land we are standing on now has a very rich history. Once called Cabbagetown, Regent Park was created in the 1940s. It is this rich history of physical transformation, community advocacy, and diversity of people that has paved the way for us to stand here today, as Regent Park undergoes one of the largest urban transformations in the world. Daniels has a commitment to creating vibrant and inclusive communities that we have consistently exceeded industry standards throughout the years. From building energy-efficient R2000 communities in the 1980s to groundbreaking remediation and site cleanups in the 1990s, we've led the industry in innovation and design and construction practices for many, many years. However, we also spend a great deal of time and energy looking beyond the bricks and mortar. For example, we incorporate urban agriculture into the fabric of our communities. We also leverage our purchasing power by pushing our designers to engage with the community, buy locally, and fill our new buildings with world-class art and accessories from homegrown and next-door talent. In addition, our commitment to community building extends beyond design and construction to advocacy for affordable ownership housing and for inclusionary zoning that will ensure all Canadians have a safe and affordable place to call home. In short, we believe that we have a responsibility to raise the bar, to facilitate inclusion so that our communities allow all people to live, work, play, and thrive. To that end, we are here today to launch our Accessibility Designed program, an initiative that addresses the need of a broad spectrum of homebuyers, including those with mobility challenges. Disability impacts the lives of many Ontarians, and the number of people with mobility challenges is increasing as the population ages. Today, over 15% of Ontario's population, or approximately 1.85 million people, have a disability, including more than 40% of people over the age of 65. To put this in perspective, that's 1 in 7 people. It is clearly time to address a significant gap in the marketplace, which is a shortage of new homes designed for mobility needs. In 2005, the Liberal government introduced the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, or the AODA, setting guidelines to ensure the rights of persons with disabilities are met. The AODA established 4 guiding principles: independence, dignity, integration, and equality of opportunity. With these in mind, we engaged a number of experts in the field to help evaluate the accessibility of our designs within our buildings, but also within our units themselves. The first expert we engaged with was Accessibility Advantage, one of Ontario's leading accessibility consultants. They then put us in touch with Luke Anderson, notable universal design advocate and founder of the Stop Gap Foundation, a charitable organization that designs and distributes ramps to stepped storefronts. And finally, Quadrangle Architects, a leader in the universal accessible design. Even though our designs met, or in some cases exceeded, AODA standards, we discovered there was not only an opportunity, but that it was imperative to do more. That's what we're here to tell you about today. Traditionally, accessible homes have been largely institutional in design. At Daniels, we believe offering all buyers, regardless of physical abilities, the opportunity to purchase beautiful homes that work for their personal needs. People who use mobility devices should be able to select from homes designed with the most up-to-date finishes and styles, yet are functional with roll-out low-threshold balconies or roll-in showers with porcelain floor tiling, just to name a few of the features. In order to walk the talk, our accessibility design suites will go above and beyond the Ontario Building Code to identify and remove physical barriers. And rather than retrofitting existing layouts, we have designed ADP suites to enhance the lives of those with mobility needs. These suites will be available as standard, with no extra charge for the accessible features and finishes included. Today, we are offering ADP layouts at Due East Condominiums, our newest residential offering within the 69-acre Regent Park revitalization, as well as at Wesley Tower, the newest condominium community in Daniel's 23-acre master-planned community in Mississauga's city center. Going forward, this program will be offered at all of our condominium communities. We'd now like to show you a short video that illustrates some of the design features of these accessibility design suites.
Introducing the Daniels Accessibility Designed Program. Daniels Accessibility Design Suites provide 34-inch wide interior doorways to accommodate a variety of mobility devices. The ensuite bathroom is designed with a porcelain-tiled roll-in shower, a folding shower seat, a handheld faucet, and grab bars. The bathroom sink has adequate knee clearance for easier access to the faucet. In the kitchen, lowered countertops and under-sink knee clearance are also provided. Standard appliances include a side-opening wall oven with a convenient pull-out counter below, as well as a drawer dishwasher. Finally, a swing door with a low threshold allows for easy access to the balcony. Daniels Accessibility Design Suites. Designing possibilities, removing barriers. For more information, visit danielshomes.ca.
So based on the feedback we've received so far from our consultant team and from potential purchasers, we plan on offering suites for this program throughout the lower portions of the building, as well as on the ground floor where possible. Purchasers will also have the option to customize their chosen design to meet their individual needs, keeping in mind that customization opportunities will depend on our construction timing. In addition, our program extends beyond the suites themselves into common spaces and amenities that include universal design elements. For example, we will be including features such as a lowered concierge desk that enables direct eye-to-eye contact from the seated position, accessible kitchens in the party room, accessible locker rooms with automatic door openers, garbage chute rooms with automatic door openers, and larger turning radii, to name a few other features in the common areas. The Accessibility Design Program is the result of an incredible amount of teamwork. A number of team members instrumental in bringing the program from design to reality are here with us today. Firstly, my colleagues Adam Molson and Steph Bonnick. I'd like to say hi. Thank you. Laureen Cassia with Quadrangle Architects. Mary Nealons with Accessibility Advantage. And of course, Luke Anderson. So Luke established Stopgap Foundation to identify and remove mobility barriers in the community so that he and others can have independence and freedom of mobility in their community and in their day-to-day lives. Luke, I'd like to ask you to come up and say a few words if you have a chance. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Jake.
No problem.
Yeah, fist bumps. Right on. Just gonna soak this in. This is many years in the works. So 5 years ago, I met up with Adam and Brock and Steph out at one of the buildings, and we did a roll through. It was a condo challenge where we wanted to identify some of the things that were working and some of the things that weren't working. And there was a list on both sides, on both ends of the spectrum. But my work with you guys has deeper roots. It goes beyond the 5 years when we first started working together. 15 years ago, I fell off my bike when I was riding in British Columbia. Had a nasty crash that resulted in a spinal cord injury. And I was all of a sudden introduced to a world that's really not well suited for someone that uses a wheelchair. So over time, I slowly started to get to know how to navigate this world in my new physical situation, and threw together a resume, and I got a great job with an engineering firm in downtown Toronto. It was a great firm, but there was a big issue with the building that the firm was in. It had 3 steps. So what they did was they ended up buying this big, heavy, folding aluminum ramp that needed to get set up every time I wanted to get in and out of the building. So just for a second, reflect on what that would do to your life. Just think about what that would mean to your spontaneity and your independence to come and go as you pleased. So for at least, twice a day, I needed to get somebody to help me outside deploy this ramp. For 8 years, 8 years, needless to say, my frustration with that situation, combined with all of the other stepped entryways that I'd come across since needing to use a wheelchair, made my frustration with the issue boil over. Nothing was being done to remove those barriers. And I was even noticing that new buildings were being constructed with stepped entryways. So I wanted people to start talking about these big issues that weren't just affecting me, but really affect so many other groups of people too. Because when that ramp was out, parents pushing strollers loved using it. They wanted it left out so they could get access, easy access into the building as well. Delivery people wanted it left out. People with temporary disabilities due to injury or illness or old age. We were having these really profound conversations in front of the building about these big issues that affect so many people. But it's not just the people that I've mentioned. It's someone without a mobility issue that's accompanying someone from one of those groups that's automatically affected by that stepped entryway. So when you start connecting the dots between all of those groups of people, you start to realize that collectively we are all affected by inaccessible spaces. I just want to get a show of hands. How many people here use an electric toothbrush? All right, yeah, okay. There's a good amount of us here that use electric toothbrushes. Well, you might be interested to know that an electric toothbrush was originally designed for someone with limited use of their hands. The internet, we're all familiar with that, it has roots in enabling someone with a disability. Door levers instead of twisting knobs. Curb cuts, we're all familiar with curb cuts. They're seamless, a seamless amenity that is just naturally integrated into our everyday lives these days. So all these things that were originally conceived to help enable someone with a disability is now just a part of our everyday fabric. And I just want to note a few more things before I close off. Lorraine, you're gonna shake your head at this one, but I want to draw a parallel. There she goes. Between us as a society and a horse wearing blinders. Seriously. So a horse wears blinders to prevent itself from getting distracted from things in its peripheral vision. And so with blinders on, a horse only has a 60-degree field of view. And I believe that as a society, we behave like a horse wearing blinders. We just don't see everything. We don't recognize people for what they can do, and instead we recognize them for what they can't do. And I believe that Daniels is really helping remove people's blinders. They're helping shift perspectives around how we see things in our communities. And that's why I'm so excited to be helping celebrate the launch of this really, really important program. Because when we start to remove our blinders, we start to recognize people for what they can do. And with blinders removed, a horse can actually see behind itself. It actually has a 340-degree field of view. So just imagine that. Imagine if we all removed our blinders. I believe that we'll start to see that it's not us as humans that have disabilities, but it's the places that we live, work, and play in that are disabling. So let's all put our hands together for Daniels. A really forward-moving organization that has incorporated this new logo in their design. So can we all just focus on that forward-moving logo for a second? To me, my eye is drawn to the person and not the wheelchair. It's the person that my eye is drawn to. And if you compare that symbol with the current access symbol, which is almost 50 years old, my eye is drawn to the chair and not the person sitting in the chair. The old symbol is really awkward. It has this feeling of immobility and helplessness. And the last time I looked around the room, we don't really grow our arms out of our bellies. Take a look at the old symbol and just feel into it. It's really awkward. And that's, I think, how we've been building our buildings up until now. And this symbol, to me, represents a big shift in that way of construction and accommodation. It's forward-moving, it's putting the person first, and it's just so important. So again, thank you, Jake, thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to celebrate with you today.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Thanks again, Luke. That's really great. The Accessibility Design Program reinforces our commitment to create communities for everyone. It has always been Daniels' mission to try to eliminate barriers to homeownership, be they financial or physical. The ADP program represents our continued commitment to work towards greater overall housing inclusion. At Daniels, we're grateful for the confidence our homebuyers place in us, and we promise to continually expand on our commitment that all our tenants and homeowners will love where you live. Thank you very much for being a part of this great milestone event. Thank you. We are going to break now for a short photo op just around the corner, and then if anyone has any questions, please come approach us one-on-one with any of our experts here that are in the room today as well, and you can ask questions at that point in time too. Thank you very much again.